Welcome, everybody, to the Huber Rebels podcast. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Jedi Ethan.
He loves video games, and I love movies, and we both love to talk about them. And
We also love Star Wars.
we're finally playing with our lightsabers because we weren't able to 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Star Wars Land.
You did
Because
right now we're just playing with our sticks.
mine feels a little loose, and it freaks me out.
What?
The bladey part?
Yeah, mine too.
I don't
It's
like
okay.
that, but... Oh, they're so good. So what happened a couple weeks ago?
It's a little wobbly. I
Yeah.
think we can get it tighter.
Yeah.
Put that away so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago we went to Star Wars Land, and did we not talk about the process?
We did.
We talked about the process. So
No,
what-
I'm saying when we were doing the episode and we had an issue. We
What-
couldn't do this 2 weeks ago on the podcast
So
because...
right before as I was preparing, I got my lightsaber out and it would not light up. However, it was making a little like zoom sound when the blade wasn't in, and when you connect the blade, it was making the clicking in noise. But when I would actually turn it on and it was empty, no light, no sound, nothing. And so I was like, well, this is weird, but I know they mentioned that the batteries could die.
Yes.
So I attempted to take the batteries out, finally got those out. We switched the batteries, it still didn't work. We like cross tested with yours, it still didn't work. And I was like,
Well, your blade worked with mine.
yeah,
So, and your thing would make noise.
yeah,
So we kind of deduced, is that a word?
yeah.
That it was your crystal.
Well, I figured it wasn't the batteries.
Right.
The only reason I thought it was the crystal was because when I was initially building it, that was what was giving me problems.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wasn't sure about was they gave me 3 of the units that you put the crystal in.
Right.
And so I was like, is that what's not working?
And on the third one, it worked first try.
It worked.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it must be fine. But I still felt weird.
Right.
But everything worked. It went great. And I think it was maybe like a week later that it wasn't working. I'm a little fuzzy on that timeline now.
We went on Saturday and talked about it on
Friday
because
Friday.
we delayed.
So about
so
a week.
Mike could join, yeah.
About a week later. And I was very sad.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
because I essentially had no lightsaber now.
Right.
And there was nothing I could do to fix it. Now, thankfully, we got passes.
Yes.
And so in the back of my head, I was like, okay, next time I go, I can get it fixed. Hopefully.
Because, like, if you don't,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I had no doubt that they would help you fix it, but you can't get to the place that helps you fix it unless you have a ticket. I don't know what they would do about that. I don't know if they would help you out.
My
at all.
guess is you call
Yeah.
or you email, and they will, worst case scenario, you mail it in
Sure.
and they fix it for you.
Yeah.
That's probably what people do, because that would really suck.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we live very close and can just, essentially run over there and get it fixed.
Yeah.
And so I had been like, just waiting to go, but I was also anxious because like, how long is this going to take? Are they going to be able to do it? Is this going to be a same day thing? Are they going to charge me? But I had my receipt. I had my lightsaber. I had full video proof of doing the entire experience.
true.
And
Did you
having
use that?
issues. No, I didn't need to.
Okay.
And when we got there, we went straight to Star Wars Land, and I went straight to the secret area where you build your lightsabers.
Yes.
Found the people waiting on the side. I was like, I have an issue. So a couple weeks ago, I came to build a lightsaber, and now it's not working. And they're like, did you change the batteries? And I'm just like, yes. I changed the batteries. They're like, okay, go up the stairs and go in the shop up there. They literally gave me like step-by-step directions. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know where it is. Just tell me the shop up
Yeah.
there. And they're like, go to the cashier on the right side.
Dak Unbar's Antique Shop or whatever.
Is that his name?
I think so.
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. So that it was that spot that we initially thought was
With that door.
the place. And I talked to a woman and she's like, "Did you change the batteries?" I was like, "Yes, I changed the batteries." Because clearly they must get a lot of people. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working. It's like, yeah, because you
like
have to change the batteries.
The people over the phone being like, "Did you try rebooting it or plugging it back in?" Yeah,
my pain.
Yeah.
My pain. And she's like, "Do you have a receipt?" And I was like, "So two things. One, I was like, yes, but also, do you need one?
I have the lightsaber.
Do you really need a receipt? Like,
where
you
else would I have
can't
gotten
get this anywhere else?"
Right.
But I didn't have to like have that conversation because I was like, "Yes, just take care of it." And they're like, "All right, we're gonna take it back and get it checked out."
Because you don't want to fight at Disneyland. You know, you just want to do your thing, and then get back into the magic.
They also want that,
Right.
And I assume, and so they took it back. She disappeared, and I was like, "Okay, I will wait here."
Sorry, continue, because
No,
I have a question, but I think you might answer it.
So Maya and I are standing there and waiting, and I'm looking around. I'm hanging out by Dak. He's out.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures. I'm noticing things on the wall. And she comes back out empty-handed, and she's like, they're still working on it. Like, something must be up. Like, it doesn't normally take this long. And then that's when I'm texting you, and I'm just like, "My lightsaber, you said it was in surgery." I'm like, "Oh my God, it is." Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Blah, blah, blah. Although I wasn't worried. I was like, they're taking it back to the engineers where they can check and fix and do everything.
Yeah.
I just want my lightsaber back. And I liked that I didn't have to be a part of it. So I could just give them my lightsaber and get one back, ideally. Yeah. And so a little bit more time passed, and then a guy came out. And he's like, "Here you go. It should be working now." And he's like, "Test it out." And he's like, "Yeah, your crystal was deteriorated." And I was just like, "Yeah, my crystal was messed up. Thank you for fixing it." Yeah. And then we left the store, and I'm like, "Oh, that was like them staying in character."
I was going to ask, did they all stay in character like throughout the entire time? Like the person asking for a receipt, was she like being Star Warsy?
There was no need.
You don't always have to be that
point,
far.
There wasn't a need for that.
I would want them.
There was nothing egregious.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to think. Somebody asked us for our space credentials, and I'm trying to think where that was.
That's cool.
Where was I where they asked us for our space credentials? I guess maybe at the cantina.
Yeah.
I think and for your credit,
I would imagine that's the only place they would ask.
And for your credits.
Yeah.
I wish I had known sooner, because you can put money and get credits and pay with everything in credits.
What?
I'm pretty sure there's a way you can do that.
Oh,
you
on the app?
Put money in, and it'll give you the equivalent in like credits, and then you can buy food with that and go to the shops and use credits.
Just
and
to
stuff
kind of feel like you're playing along.
Oh yeah,
even though it's just like a 1-to-1 conversion, and
I don't think $1 is a credit.
It is.
It is?
Because the Coke was like 3.95 credits.
Oh, I was thinking it was like 1 to 100.
No,
because that would have been really cool.
No.
Like rupees.
Because not everyone does that. So when they all say credits when you're buying something.
Ew.
So when someone walks up who doesn't know anything about that and they say it's 5,000 credits, they're like, what are you talking about? They have to give you like the actual number and then just change the word dollars to credits.
It's 5.99 credits? Like, how do they do that?
That's what they say.
0.99?
Yep. I remember that when I bought the Coke and it was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
But it was great. I got it back. It worked. I went outside. I turned it on. And these things definitely do not work in the light. I realized, like,
you couldn't see it?
Couldn't see it.
Because it was kind of dusk, huh?
No, when we did it.
When we first left, yeah.
And I realized, I was like, I've only lit this thing up where you can light it up. If you go out in the sun, it's no color. It's just white. It makes sense. It's like your phone screen.
No, I really would think you'd be able to see color at least. Maybe it doesn't glow or reflect on you or anything, but that seems weird.
It's hard
it's a vibrant color.
It's hard to light stuff up during the day, though.
But that looks purple.
Yeah. The sun?
I know the sun is bright.
The sun is intense.
Yeah, I know. Huh.
And so, it made sense when you do it and you see it. You're like, oh yeah, no, it's real. It's like if you try to play your Switch outside.
Yeah,
you can't see it.
True.
Like, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I've always, since I was a kid, I'm like, this is stupid. You should just be able to see a thing. But clearly, like, they haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
But regardless, I got my lightsaber back. But then I went and put it in the car and I didn't get it back because it was just too much back and forth. And I
You didn't want to carry it around again all day.
Well, I definitely would have gotten damaged on the rapids because
Oh, right, yeah.
there's no practical way to keep this thing with you all day.
I think you can store that somewhere, maybe
For free?
Yeah, they don't have. They're not like Six Flags where they charge you at their lockers at every
Oh, you
single
mean
ride.
like that?
Yeah. Like I think there's probably a place where you can cross over and say like I'm setting this here, and they're like okay.
Yeah, I'd have to check.
Because I'm sure people have like backpacks and stuff that they don't want to get soaked and stuff when they're on the ride.
But that was the thing. We waited for the rapids. Every single person was holding their backpack.
Oh, the rapids. I'm sorry. I was thinking Splash Mountain. The rapids would be weird because there isn't like a crossover point. There's just that little hub that everyone comes and goes from. Yeah, the
Yeah.
rapids would be kind of odd.
But
I don't know.
But even thinking about it, being there all day, I didn't see anywhere where anybody put their bags. I was thinking about that and looking for that. I'll have to double check.
I've done it.
'Cause I feel
I've
like
done
there
it
has to.
before.
I feel like
Yeah.
we've done it there.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anywhere for that.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely. I was like, well, I can't go on any roller coasters. I can't go on any water rides. I can't go on pretty much anything
Yeah.
with this thing.
So you guys paid to park again?
Yeah, it's just easier. And we haven't not paid to park yet, so I don't know where that is. And
Right. I was gonna show you when we went
Yeah.
last time, but
I figured next time we can
yeah.
do that. Because the other thing that Brandon was telling me about was if you do the downtown Disney parking and get it validated for like 5 hours, you can somehow finagle that to be cheaper. But that's more if you're going to be there the evening. And
Depends. At least
Yeah.
with that, if you're only gonna be there for 5 hours, you have to pay. I think it's $20 worth of something at
they changed it
what?
because he said he used to go just buy a drink for $5 and get validated parking for 5 hours.
That's what I was expecting because I wasn't really thinking, but obviously that's
Do they
kind
not
of a
do that?
workaround. No, it's a minimum of $20.
They must have. Yeah, they must.
But
because I'm
you're at
assuming
least
people were
getting
doing
something
that.
for that.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
true.
dinner, you get food,
Yeah.
and then that also covers your parking instead of just paying $25 to park.
In that case, it should not be 5 hours. Then it should be unlimited.
Yeah.
If you have to pay if it has to be $20, it should be unlimited.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with whatever. Regardless, it was great. We went on Pirates, Small World, Soarin', the Rapids.
How long were you there?
We got there around 10.
Uh-huh.
Maybe no, like 9:30 ish. But then like into the park 10 ish, and then we left around 7:30 or 8.
Oh, wow. Cool.
We wanted to get there a little earlier and we wanted to leave a little earlier, but Sundays are tough to do a full day
Yeah.
because you got work the next day.
Yeah.
And it was tough. So definitely going to be targeting Saturdays for full days.
For sure.
The other objective of last Sunday was to catch a Cobalion,
Yeah.
whatever the current
Right. Yes.
5-star
the blue,
legendary.
blue guy, right?
The people we were with did not do Pokemon. They don't do any of that. So
Yeah.
it was there, and it was for her birthday.
You didn't want to like take them out of the way for stuff like that.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
But this week we're good. No, I have to get that Pokemon.
Yeah.
There was also Galarian Weezing. Didn't get that.
Yeah.
So if you just want to come play Pokemon, we can do that.
I always want to do that because that's really the only place to do
Yeah.
the higher tier raids. So
Yep.
kind of sucks.
So we can look into that. But yeah, overall it was successful.
That's good. I was thinking earlier this week about how I didn't really talk about my trip on this podcast. I was still in that sort of like dazed phase from it. I don't know if you can
You were
relate to that at all. Like,
You were
or-
still recovering.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really was. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it not that it was like traumatic or anything like that. It was just like it was a lot
Yeah.
to take in, and I wasn't really ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that earlier this week. How like there's definitely things that I will like cherish for the rest of my life. I just wanted to like mention those real quick. Okay, thing number one. I saw my without a doubt 100% absolute 4 favorite musical acts in a foreign country all in like the same weekend, and I think that's insane.
Wait, what trip are you talking about? Budapest?
Yes.
I thought we did talk about that.
No. What did you think I was talking about?
The apple orchard that you went to last weekend.
No. No, that wasn't a trip.
I mean, I didn't think that's what it was, but I was like, I guess he's considering that a trip.
No, we really didn't talk about it very much. We talked about when I was there.
I think I wanted to, and you were and you were just like
Yeah,
okay,
no, I
now
wasn't
I'm-
really ready to, like, we definitely didn't devote an entire episode to it after I got back, like, talking about what I did.
Oh, what? So you're trying to hijack this episode?
No.
I know. I'm just kidding. No. Now I'm
Could
like,
have been done by now.
that's how it is. That's how it is. Okay.
Eating ice cream, sitting on a bench in front of a mister in the courtyard outside of St. Stephen's Basilica.
These are just favorite moments.
Just like little flashes that stick in my head. Running into someone from the next city over from me at a music festival in Hungary. What are the odds of that? Riding a rentable scooter for miles along the Danube River. That was very fun.
Because they have birds and stuff over there. The different brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Is
was
that the kind of
birds.
scooter you're talking about?
There were so many. There was birds, limes, like at least 2 others.
Bothers me. It's
Really?
good, but it bothers. You want to know my reason?
Yeah.
It's more samey stuff around the world. So no matter where you go, it's
I-
like, oh, that thing and that thing, and
I
oh, yeah,
like
all
that.
the same stuff.
I don't always like when I hear of like this country's equivalent to this. I would rather think that every country has Vons. Or
Life gets real boring
yeah,
when that happens.
I know.
I used to when I lived overseas, I was like, I want everything to be like America everywhere. And now I'm like, oh wait, if everything's the same everywhere, there's no reason to go anywhere. The whole point of places is that they have those unique things
For
you can
sure.
only experience.
For sure.
there.
Like-
there's certain conveniences, like the birds aren't a big deal.
But like 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
They're not. I didn't see any in England. I know they are in other countries.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're very prevalent in Japan.
They're Japanese owned.
But I didn't see any when I was over there, and it's just kind of odd.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's just, I think it's more mind blowing to me to think that all these places have their own versions of all these different things. It's like, how does the world function with all of these different companies? It's crazy.
This is a bigger conversation I'm not going to get into.
Why not?
Because it's the biggest thing I learned about life living overseas. It broke my entire view of everything. Like, broke it down.
Yeah.
And I was fighting it a long time.
Yeah.
And you saying that makes me realize, like, yeah, it's so impossible to
To fathom that.
get that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just because, like, we don't decide how things are.
And that's not even what I'm thinking.
But it's this innate feeling because there's America has permeated the world.
Yes.
But that's a new thing. And for all of human existence up until this point, everybody's been getting along just fine. They have their grocery stores.
Yeah.
They have their everything. And it's a natural instinct to compare.
Yeah.
But if you think about it from somebody from their perspective, it doesn't even faze them. So that's why all that stuff exists. Because every economy has to develop on its own.
Yeah.
And so there could be somebody to repeat all of those. Because, like, America didn't just get here. Like, step after step after step after step that, like, all of these things developed.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to me to watch that timeline happening all over the place.
Yeah. In different stages.
And I'm afraid of the point, to a certain degree, when we're all in the, like, I think it's going to be better, probably safer, healthier for all
when we're all equal.
mankind. It's like not being equal, but it's just
No, and,
like
and I don't mean
no, because that's definitely part of it.
stages of
Because it's definitely like people in other countries looking at what we have here and being like, why don't we have these basic things?
What I was saying isn't necessarily how do these other places function without what we have. It's just it blows my mind
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that let's just take the top 20 countries.
Yep.
Everyone
Top 20 defined top 20.
economically or just influentially
Top
or
20 GDPs in the world. I'm calling you on this. Yeah, I'm very specific with this stuff.
I guess it doesn't
Human-
really matter. I just
human,
didn't want to break it.
quality
I
of-
just didn't want to talk about every country because a lot of them probably do have some of the
So like
same
the
stuff.
top 20 wealthiest countries.
Let's just take any 20 countries then. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Let's just take 20 random countries.
Yeah.
They all probably have different versions of everything. And how does all of that function economically with the rest of the world? I know it does, but just in
Okay.
my brain, it's like everyone has their own version of, they all have to like ship things out and like communicate with each other and pay each other. And it's just like all of these different things that are crossing all over the world and it all at the same time. And they're all working and you don't even know about 90% of them, and it's just insane.
That's kind of different. That's a kind of, I could come at that at kind of a different angle.
Yeah.
Because like I recently learned one thing, like based on what you said, the shipping thing. So this is why I love history, and this is why I get like go down black holes, is I don't even remember what I was researching, but the shipping containers we have, before that, there was no global economy.
Yeah.
But for us, we've only ever known that.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't we do that? I didn't realize, like, you know how you watch like old movies and it's like cranes and they're like they pick up the crates of the bananas and they pick them up and they take them off of the ship.
Yeah.
That was how
Like an old steamboat or something on a river.
Yeah. And it wasn't even an old steamboat on a river. That was literally the world until somebody was like, we need to standardize a container. That was everything. And so it was impossible to unload ships quickly when you had all of these different weights and different items and different quantities and all this stuff. And then somebody was like, hey, what if we make one box that's the same everything? You just fill it up with stuff, and then we can just have a crane in every place, pick it up and take it off a ship. And it's like, boom.
Yeah.
And now that's forever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's why
I agree. I'm saying it's insane.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Like I totally get you there.
So like just everyone needs their stuff.
Yeah.
Every one of these places has stuff that they need, and they need to give it to people also. And it's just, how does this all work?
So you know how you go to the grocery store and you get a banana?
Yeah.
When you were in Hungary, if you went to the grocery store and got a banana, they came from the same place.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And not just the same, like one tiny little place supplies the bananas pretty much for the world. It's crazy. And that's
it
why
just kind of all goes over our heads.
It doesn't, and it wouldn't take much for it to all come crashing down.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people don't also realize. Even if they're like afraid of it, they don't really understand like how, like we have a lot of protections in place.
Right.
But that's why,
So all that being said, when I saw Bird in Hungary, I was kind of I was happy about it.
It's for
because
sure
it was something I recognized.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, I know what you are.
It was like when we were in Japan, and it was like things. So Japan's a good example.
Yeah.
Everything's different.
Oh yeah, I bet.
They're very isolated, so they've really like developed on
their own stuff.
It does get overwhelming, and that's why one day we were like, let's just get McDonald's. It's like a warm hug of familiarity. So yeah, this is why I love to travel. I want to. I
can't wait to travel.
I want to hear more about what you have.
Let's see. Getting completely dumped upon with rain while walking through the streets of London.
So much better than bird poop.
At the time, kind of annoying.
Big Ben is back there. Elizabeth Tower, actually, I learned the main thing is called Elizabeth Tower. The clock itself is Big Ben. Didn't know that. There's a fountain. It's getting filled today because it's raining. Did I mention it's raining? It's raining really hard. Everyone has umbrellas. I didn't pack one. Didn't think to. I'm not doing the National Gallery because I did the Victoria and Abdul. What's it called? I'm gonna go with Victoria and Abdul Museum, something like that. I think it's Albert, but I like the movie Victoria and Abdul, so I'll call it that. Honestly, to me, all museums are the same, so I don't see a point in doing a second one. I saw a bunch of stuff, and if I went in there, I'd be like, oh cool, they moved the same stuff or copied it to this one. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I'm gonna walk towards Big Ben, I think.
I still remember you texting me, and I did not match how you were feeling. I was like, "That's so cool," and you were.
And I wasn't upset about it. I was like, I was going through it. I wasn't hiding from it. I'm like, I'm doing this.
But now
I'm gonna get soaked. But like, I love that I did that now.
Yep.
Not that that's that rare of an occasion.
Doesn't matter.
But
you did the thing.
I did.
It's like going to San Francisco and it being cloudy.
I was standing in Trafalgar Square, just getting.
That's awesome.
Demolished by the rain. It was pretty fun.
The little things.
I got to see Big Ben in a way that most people don't get to. Completely boarded up.
Oh, the whole thing?
I was except for the clock, but everything else. I was really annoyed by that at the time. Like I was ready to like take a picture when I was coming up with it on the bus.
Wait, so like the whole facade of it?
Yeah.
Oh, like scaffolding?
All scaffolded.
Oh,
and
there was That's a shame.
But most people in history haven't seen it like that. So I got to see a rare
cool.
version of Big Ben. Yeah.
You'll be back.
Having flight issues in a foreign country and handling it all by myself. I was pretty proud of myself for that.
I have not done that.
Because it could have been kind of scary, and I could have been like, I don't know what to do. But I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
let's take this logically and simply, and you get me on another plane.
This is, you get paid to fix this. Fix it.
Yeah. So I just stood there. I'm like, I don't care how long you're on the phone for.
Yep.
You're getting me to Hungary. one way or another.
If you have to go rent a car, put me in it and drive me there, we're doing it.
Yeah. And then lastly, having comfortable and safe rooms to retreat to where I could completely be myself in a place that felt the most foreign to me.
Yep. Hell, that applies here.
I know. Yeah, it
Want
really
a
does.
home. We like our nests.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to devote an entire episode to like stories from the trip. I just those were the things that popped in my head about like that's what I'll always remember about that trip, and I want to
That's really cool.
speak to it. So.
You literally have all I want to talk about is travel now. But I'm gonna shut that down. I want more stories.
Well, I'm sure they'll come up
Yeah.
over time.
No, right now I want more stories. Give me one more off the top of your head that you didn't write down.
Okay.
Gut feeling. I want to know about any girls, any that you talked to. Any of
Okay,
them?
here we go. So, wait. Oh, I skipped one, and this is perfect. I skipped one of them. Taking a speedboat tour on the Danube River past the Parliament building.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was sitting in front of the Parliament building, and I saw this like really like stereotypical speedboat, right?
Yep.
Just like pointy nose, red, like fire engine red, just like flying by me, and I saw a bunch of people in it. I'm like, what is that? And it had the name, I forget what the name was, but it was like a company name. So I Googled it.
Yeah.
And it was like just a little bit down the river. You could buy a seat for it. I'm like, I'm doing that.
That's awesome.
I had no idea that was a thing, but I'm going to do that. And I bought a ticket for it. And the next morning I slept in. I forgot and I missed my appointment. And I'm like, that really sucks. I'm still doing it. So I bought another one. And I hopped on a scooter and I rode all the way down, like literally probably like a good number of miles down the river to this like dock. And there was a pretty cute girl working there. And she had like wristbands from the festival that I was going to.
Wow. And she was
this was
working?
in between. I had done 2 days of the festival already.
Yeah.
And then there was 2 days of sightseeing and then one more day of festival. And this was the morning of that last festival day. And she was working the thing. Like she was like getting us in our life jackets and like making sure we paid and stuff like that. And she was just, I don't know, she was really cool.
You remember her?
I do.
Did you talk to her?
I did.
Nice. Did
Yeah.
you get her number?
No.
So that you could call her internationally and spend $8,000?
So, I mean, I'm not very good at flirting, and I wasn't even necessarily flirting. But when I got back, I'm like, I'm going to just see what I can do here. And I was like, oh, so are you going to the festival tonight? And she said, yeah. I'm like, who are you going to see? She's like, oh, I don't know. Probably Post Malone. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, hopefully I'll see you there. And then I walked away. It's like, God,
That's okay.
So in my head, I'm like, if I see her there later, then you know, it's meant to be that I talk to her a little bit more.
If you saw her there, it was meant to be.
Oh,
With
yeah.
how many people were
Literal
there?
seas of people.
Oh, God.
So just
That's cool.
Just kind of attempted. I figured I had to try once while I was in Europe, right? But
Yeah.
I didn't see her.
Which is totally okay.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't go to any bars or anything like that. I
There-
wanted to, but I never did.
There was one when I did my Europe trip. 3 out of the 4 of us were in relationships.
Yes.
So that was not a thing.
Yes.
But there was one night that we went out in Ireland.
Ireland, right?
And
That was on my mind the entire trip,
and
honestly.
talked with some girls from Spain.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get
Yeah.
one of our group, and it didn't pan out. But it was in retrospect, it was like, oh, cool. We like met some girls from Spain and talked to them. Like that was interesting.
I thought about that many times.
So-
I'm like, oh, maybe
Yeah. You never know.
that they like the American guys in
It's-
Hungary, but
Having a group
yeah.
of like people, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, like what that is, kind of a thing.
Just one random American accent dude, just like,
They
what are you
probably
doing
get
here?
A lot of people that are just randomly coming through.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's a different type of situation.
Yeah. But
The right
There you
girl
go.
would be
There's-
like, he's mine. I will eat him tonight.
oh god.
Not actually.
Well,
eat.
Dracula's from there, so
Oh God, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Wait, is he?
Yeah.
Isn't that Bulgaria?
I went through the Dracula caves
It's not Bulgaria?
under the Buda Castle.
Transylvania? It's in Hungary?
Uh,
It's probably... it makes sense because it's that
I know I looked it up and I've forgotten, but like the
No,
person that Dracula that we know of is based off of
It's from there.
walked through these like tunnels
There's a
underground.
person? There's
Yeah.
a real person?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was a human. That was not undead or anything.
Right.
But how did he convince people that he was some special something?
We'll look it up later. I don't know.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Should I look it up?
Yeah. I'm
right.
really curious about that.
Vlad III, Prince of Wallachia, I think. Vlad the Impaler. You know that name, right?
That definitely sounds familiar.
Okay, here. I need a
What did he impale?
Wikipedia page. The real Dracula, Vlad the Impaler. Okay. Few names have cast more terror into the human heart than Dracula, the legendary vampire. The real Dracula, by most accounts, was Vlad III, born in 1431 in what is now Transylvania, the central region of modern-day Romania.
Romania, not Bulgaria. That's what I meant.
Where
But
does...
maybe he went there because
Right.
the borders were all different back then too.
In 1431, King Sigismund of Hungary, who would later become the
There you
Holy
go.
Roman Emperor, inducted the elder Vlad into a knightly order, the Order of the Dragon. This sounds awesome. The designation earned Vlad II a new surname, Dracul. The name came from the old Romanian word of dragon, drac. His son Vlad III would later be known as the son of Dracul, or in old Romanian, DRACULEAH, hence Dracula.
Wow.
So now, hold on. Let me just get context of what the Dracula caves
So
are.
a Hungarian king knighted a Romanian impaler.
Yeah.
This is his father.
Named him the Romanian or Hungarian word for dragon,
No, that was the Romanian word.
Romanian word for dragon, which is Dracul, and then son of
It was
would be
Dracula.
similar to
That's
Dracula.
ridiculous. And how did undead blood sucking become a thing?
That I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
that's vampires, not Dracula.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, it's all good.
He was around there, and he had these
Yeah.
tunnels and stuff
That's
underground
cool.
where he was. I'm
you went in
assuming
them?
being incredibly creepy. Yeah,
He's just
yeah, they were spooky, dude. Like
Ugh.
they go so deep underground. They're like these like stone walls,
Stone, mhm.
like very wet under there, and it goes so deep at one point that it's literally the densest fog I've ever seen in my life that you're walking through.
underground.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen underground
It
fog.
was really weird.
Oh my god, that's how people disappear.
It may have been a fog machine, but I don't think it was.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it was.
That would be really lame.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There's two stories.
That's awesome. So, a new patent came out, and have you looked at it?
No. I pulled up the link.
Let's pull this up because I'm gonna walk you through this a little. It's pretty much everything I was hoping.
Cool.
Now, I should have been good and read up on the Wired article because I think they described the upgraded touchpad. So the image we're looking at right now is like a isometric view top down at an angle. So the touchpad looks noticeably different, a little thicker. I believe it's going to be a screen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a digital screen, glass, and clickable, potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe not clickable, actually, but
Because the current one is.
yeah, it's one giant button. And I hear people don't like it. They're like, it's just a giant map button. I'm like, yeah, it's one of the best map buttons ever made. Like,
But it's also a touchpad,
which
is
nobody uses.
wildly underused.
Nobody uses for that. It's because of third-party games.
Yeah.
You have third-party games, and Xbox doesn't have the functionality, and so they're like, we're not going to do something custom for PlayStation.
Right.
And it's because that's not going to get them any more money, but I 100%
Yeah.
underused. So there were a couple things that they mentioned in the Wired article. One was a mic being located under the PlayStation button. So I'm not sure which one of those is the mic. I assume one is still a headphone port.
Yeah.
I think they'd have to keep that in there just for right now. Although I believe personally the PS5 will also come with Bluetooth headphone connection where you can just connect any Bluetooth
Like your
headset.
AirPods or something.
Yeah, I hope they're going to do that. There's business reasons not to. So
Sure.
we'll see.
So, meaning the controller has a mic built into it. So no one has an excuse of like, I don't have a mic if you're playing a shooter game online.
Well, that's
I mean,
one
you
way.
can still turn it off.
That's
but-
one way to look at it. One of the rumors around PS5 is that it's going to be built for streaming
Right.
instantly. Anyone can stream
Yeah.
because the console is potentially going to have a camera built into it.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Because that seems complicated, but it could work.
That means you'd have to position your console like just the right
movable
way.
camera, like maybe
External?
Like imagine, yeah, so it'd be like on the front of the console.
Yeah.
And imagine like you could rotate it like an orb.
Huh.
And angle it. Maybe it could work.
Sure.
So they changed PS4, allowed everybody to stream and share, and that has really, in my opinion, catapulted
I've used it a lot.
streaming, right? And this would be that next level of like now everybody can show themselves without having to buy the camera.
Right.
Also VR
Yeah.
by putting that, so there could be some connection there. So touchpad, I see it being a screen that can both. So you're gonna get a little bit of Wii U functionality, very minor, a little bit of Dreamcast throwback, which is kind of cool. But it could still be like it could be. I imagine 3 options: map, weapons, quests. I don't know, but you could. Then you can program it to be 3 additional buttons.
Yeah.
So essentially customize it however you want to use it. I don't know if that's what they'll do. Maybe they just put the map there.
That would be cool. And you can like resize it.
My only concern is battery life.
Yeah.
If we scroll down, one of the biggest issues with battery life on the DualShock 4 was the light bar. Regardless, so we got the DualShock 4 on the right and the potential DualShock 5 on the left. Major differences are no light bar.
Good.
The light bar was designed for the PSVR, period. That's why they put it in there.
Yeah.
To connect with the Move controllers with the orbs. With PS5, while they have said PSVR will be backwards compatible, they have a new VR coming that is going to be the PSVR didn't even get custom controllers. They used PS3 controllers as their main VR controllers. The fact they were able to pull that off is incredible. This is going to have dedicated stuff that doesn't need any of that. So we're going to get a better controller without the light bar, which will improve battery life. Maybe they then transfer that into the little screen thing that's on there.
Yeah.
We know it has the improved triggers with the pressure
Adaptive triggers.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's interesting is it looks more like the shape of an Xbox controller.
I was gonna say the back of this, very much so.
And I think there's a reason. Like, I think that'll be better. And then my favorite,
to me personally,
Yeah.
this feels a lot better in my hands.
but we haven't felt that.
I have. I mean, I've held one.
Except-
We haven't felt this.
Because-
this versus an Xbox controller, I prefer PlayStation.
So for me, the biggest reason that a DualShock 4 is more comfortable is the stick position.
yeah.
Less so the shape of the controller. And so I think this is a perfect
Happy medium.
in between that. I think will be even better.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this might be, and you can't really see, so the options button and the share button on the DualShock 4 at the very end are curved.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough space.
Right.
And you can see the lines overlap.
Yeah.
In this one, they just moved it a little just so that it's on its own.
Just to show that,
and
like,
I'm just like, this is going to be the perfect controller. Still share, still options. It just, everything looks perfect. I'm very excited.
This is the 5, right?
That's a rough mock-up. Somebody made that.
Yeah.
That's not from anything.
Right.
Just to kind of show you the shape of the 5. It looks perfect.
Looks nice. It still does look very similar though too, which is makes me happy.
DualShock 4 was the greatest evolution of a controller jump. I thought the DualShock 3 was fine.
Yeah. I remember going from 3 to 4 and how heavy the 4 was in the best way. Because the 3 you could like chuck a mile away.
I hate that controller now.
Yeah.
Like, I get why people were like, Sony has a controller.
And their L2 R2 buttons were just garbage.
Bad.
Yeah.
So I'm very hyped, but USB-C charging is the other thing. I'm not 100% sure where it is. It looks like it's that little line, because you can see the old charge port on the 4. The other thing I hope they fix is the different material. Because some of the special edition controllers where that color changes and you got weird color I'm not digging it.
I hope that the rubber on the joysticks holds up better.
Is better. Yeah, I think that's going to be improved as well. So, I'm very excited.
Cool.
This lines up with everything they mentioned in the Wired article.
It's exciting. It's less than a year away, right?
About a year.
About a year.
We don't know when next year.
Yeah.
I think November Wait, here's my theory.
Yeah, it came out November 15th, the PS4 did.
November 15th?
Yep.
PS2 is October 26th, so there's a chance.
Of October.
20 years from
Ooh.
PS2.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. You got anything?
I watched a video about Death Stranding.
What kind of video?
A little introduction playthrough kind of thing. Nothing spoilery, just like a little...
I'm avoiding everything like the plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you. You probably know stuff, though, but like...
I don't know where you're going with this, that's
it's
why.
Just, from all of the trailers that we've seen over the last however many years it's been, it looked like this was going to be the most like twisted, weird, what the F is going on kind of game ever. And that I'm sure that is still the case.
Yeah.
But the cornerstone of this game, like what everything is based off of, is just very weird and normal. Like, do you know what you do in this game?
You don't say anything.
Okay.
Because
I'm not going to.
I'm being very like careful with what I know. It's all about balancing and carrying stuff. You're a porter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Like
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. I thought you were just gonna be thrown into like this barrage of chaos when you start the game, and that doesn't seem like that's necessarily the case.
Nope.
It's cool. It's interesting. I'm still into it, but like it was very different from what I was expecting it to be. Like once I started seeing videos, I'm like,
when I saw the first couple
hell?
gameplay trailers, I was like, this is gonna be familiar in terms of traversing a 3D world, but the gameplay, it's not like get a gun, run out there, shoot stuff, collect stuff, climb up there, shoot some more stuff. Like that's most games.
right.
The Witcher's different because you have a sword, so it's cut that. But
Now this is me speaking off of nothing I know factually. Like, so I'm just hypotheticalizing right now. The baby. I thought maybe the game is about delivering this baby or something. But there's just the weird stuff that we've seen in the trailers. It's just kind of a normality in this world that is...
Everybody knows what's
something-
happened. I roughly know what happened. Basically, the bridge between the other world and the current world is all effed up and merging and going, and I love it. Oh my god, it's so weird.
It's just like Norman Reedus' character isn't necessarily anything special.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so bizarre. It's so different from what I've been thinking about for the last 2 or 3 years.
It's what if America existed and then some weird went down and everybody's still trying to survive and exist.
So I'm so excited to play it. It's long as hell too, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know when I'm gonna get this game. I'm so conflicted because I've also been hearing stuff about Fallen Order.
Good or bad?
11 blew me up today. He's been telling me.
I watched a review video of it today, like a short one. What?
I'm struggling day by day now to not go buy that game.
Oh, okay, good. Because the thing I heard was 7 out of 10. This was just one person's thoughts.
It's not what I'm hearing.
Good. That's good.
And I think us being Star Wars fans.
But also, like the things you were saying, I'm like, yeah, I really want to say that. No joke. Today, I was ready to go buy it.
Yeah,
I think we need to play that
I've talked
before. Yeah.
So 11 said probably before 9. So I said I'll wait till Black Friday sales. It's not popping up on anything. I think it's too soon.
I really want to play it.
Because
the little bit of gameplay that they put in this little 4-minute video looked
perfect.
amazing.
If I can just go off what Levin said,
yeah.
He said this is what Star Wars needs right now.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, finally happened. Something that you alluded to.
Called.
Probably almost.
Not alluded to. Called. Give me the credit.
No, I don't think you said this is going to happen. Because when we talked about it, we were like, that's never going to happen.
What did I say?
You said you wanted to play as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Fortnite.
I said I will buy a
long
skin.
time ago.
I said I will buy a skin when they add Obi-Wan to Star Wars.
But I don't think either of us thought that was possible.
And you said
because Marvel
that's never gonna happen. And I was like,
okay,
it'll
you
happen.
can anti-call me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because Marvel hadn't even happened yet. They hadn't done any crossovers yet.
Had it not?
No.
Yeah, and then the Thanos thing happened. I'm like, it's happening. That sounds
Yes.
more. That sounds like a more realistic timeline.
And then especially when they did Marvel again for
all the
for
heroes.
Endgame, and they did John Wick
Yep.
and Batman.
Borderlands.
It's like Borderlands. It's like, okay, things are coming up. They do things in Fortnite accordingly, and what's bigger than Star Wars besides Marvel? And they're owned by the same people. Of course they're going to do something.
Nothing. I was waiting to say nothing because you said what's bigger. So
Right. And there are now stormtroopers in Star Wars. Or
breaking news.
there are now stormtroopers in Fortnite. And yeah,
And they can't hit anything.
that would be hilarious if you use them and they're just like lasers going all over the place.
That'd be the biggest waste of money ever.
For sure.
More biggest waste of money.
I still think that more is going to be released.
Did you get it?
I did.
I can't do it.
I had to.
I know you had to.
Because I haven't bought a skin in months. I finally had stopped. I'd cut that off. I finally broke myself of that addiction. And once that happened, I'm like, all right, you.
I'm still holding out. I said the only time I'm going to buy one, and I've still not done that.
You've still never bought a skin?
Only
I thought
with
you have.
only with
V-Bucks.
with V-Bucks that I had earned.
Yeah.
Never a $15 or $20 skin.
Yeah.
I got the Army Man for nothing. I got Rex when I had some extra stuff. I think those are the two that I got.
I think Obi-Wan's
Super unlikely.
super unlikely
Until the show comes out.
show.
Yep.
And even then, I'm still concerned because they didn't do anything for the Mandalorian.
He's new.
What?
He's new.
Yeah. Right. But I do think something will come out for episode 9.
Absolutely.
And then that just opens the door for anything at that point. Like, you can't write anything off. So it's exciting.
I'll start writing them every day.
Now, I also played Chapter 2 for the very first time.
Yes.
And had fun.
How'd you do in your first match?
I won.
Nice.
Yeah. How many kills did you get?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Doesn't matter.
I hid most of the time.
Yeah. Did you know that they were mostly bots?
I knew. Yeah, I knew that. I knew.
You should just charged out into it then, and
I was
because they entice you.
So
They're interesting bots.
I loaded it up and was on the phone with Maya and only wanted to see the Stormtrooper, and it threw me into a match, and so I was just hiding most of the time. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'll try to win now.
Yeah.
And somebody charged me and I shot them.
That was epic, by the way. The way the game loads.
Really cool.
And it's like this cinematic, and then you jump out into a match. That was really cool. With the music.
Imagine if they hadn't made you wait 3 days to do that.
It'd be cooler?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or annoying. I don't
still
know.
think the way they did it was stupid.
I have to wonder if
while it was happening, I was like, this is genius. And then it was done and we didn't play. And that was what told me.
Yeah, that's on us, though.
I don't think so. I think because it's on us in our 2-person circle. Mm-hmm. But no way were we the only people that felt like that. People that hadn't played and were like, I want to be a part of this event. Nothing's happening. I don't need this.
That's true.
That's how I felt.
That almost could have been like a clean cutoff for a lot of people. Just be like, yeah, well, I guess I'm done.
I'm done with Fortnite.
You could have sucked me into a brand new map and gotten me addicted again, but
yeah,
you made the decision for me.
Imagine if that had happened right away.
Yeah.
Oh my, we would have irrationally loved that new map.
Yeah.
Just because we were a part of that or whatever.
Part of the millions of people that were experiencing it all at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really think that was a hugely missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Everything should have been loaded in.
I just
in the
don't
back
know if they
end.
could have.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
I do understand that.
Because I don't know if that entire time was overhauling it or anything.
I don't believe it was.
Yeah.
I think it was to make a point.
Yeah.
And I think it was to show people, hey, this is what happens when you don't have that thing that you take for granted.
And that's really cocky. I don't like that.
It's very cocky. And for a while it was paid off until it didn't pay off.
Yeah.
Because I
do feel like the general hype in the world of Fortnite is diminished a little bit. It just sort of seems like
in general. Oh,
since.
well, pre that, it was at possibly at its lowest point since the high. Then it skyrocketed back up for this event.
Yeah.
And so you're saying now it's really down again, or
It
are
just
people,
seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it's part of the like mainstream.
I think they defied all expectations in the first place.
I just don't know if this new map, the map has to evolve, because the season 1, chapter 1 map
Yeah.
wasn't anything special, and it has to change, and people have to grow accustomed to things and love things, and when they take them away, like you evolve with it.
I don't think it's the map though.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, for me, I don't feel like the map is doing anything for anyone just yet, but I think it will over time. But also, like you like to say, like lightning in a bottle. I feel like that first map kind of was that. Like, you bring in Tilted Towers, and it becomes like the biggest. Like, everyone knows the name Tilted Towers.
I don't think
they're going to do that
again.
again. Because then it just seems like you're trying to do that again.
And it doesn't mean that it's not good, that the content's not good, that their story's not good, that they're not on point. I think they may have taken it for everything it was,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing. The fact they even got as much out of it as they did, it essentially launched the Epic Games Store. And that will have much longer staying power than Fortnite will.
Yeah.
And it's not going anywhere. People still love it. People still play it. But the game industry, something new.
Did you see that the Unreal Engine was used to make some stuff in The Mandalorian?
Yes, I did. And it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Because that has lowered the barrier. That and Unity has lowered the barrier for all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
that's just incredible.
So I feel like that might have been maybe when Star Wars and Fortnite started talking.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
So
That's
cool
because
stuff.
that makes, Disney
Yes.
and Epic were probably talking.
Well, they were already.
With-
I guess they're already friends at that point.
with
But they're
Marvel
like, "Can
and
you help
stuff.
us with this?" And they're like, "Can we do
I
this?"
could see
And-
that being a Star Wars trade. I mean, they partnered it with Fallen Order too. So
Right.
that's been a
Yeah,
big,
because if you buy the game
part
on the
of it.
Epic Games Store, you get the Stormtrooper for free.
through November 30th, I believe.
Yeah. So do that. If that's something that strikes your fancy.
One more massive thing
Yeah.
that I may have overlooked. Are you familiar with Half-Life
Yep.
and the lore?
No.
Not the universe lore.
The fact that there's only 2 of them,
And there's only 2 of.
every Valve game.
So Valve announced something. They're making another Half-Life.
I always had a feeling.
Not Half-Life 3.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Okay, so Valve put out a tweet that they will be announcing or debuting a new game this
Have they kind of wrapped up all of their 2-part series, or is there still something out
on
there?
November 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And the game is called Half-Life Alyx, and it's a VR game.
Okay.
Alyx is one of the main characters in Half-Life.
Yeah.
So they apparently announced a while back that they were working on 3 VR games. I have been suspecting that Valve had something in the works.
Yeah.
So they're known for their 2 games. So
Yeah.
you got Half-Life 1 and 2, Portal 1 and 2, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Team Fortress 1 and 2.
Yep.
My guess, double back real quick, one other thing I want to say. Half-Life 2 debuted as the flagship for the Source engine, which is like the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
The Source engine was Valve's engine, and it was mind-blowing. The physics, everything, the graphics, this was like, and they used that as their flagship, like, look at this. The fact there's been no Half-Life 3, I always suspected it was because they don't make it just for the story.
Yeah.
There's something else that they tie it to use to propel. So Steam itself is another example. I forget what game they used to promote Steam.
Right.
But that's how you get adoption rates. Valve has VR, the Vive, I think. Or no. I think that's HTC. I think Valve has their own VR thing. Regardless,
Yeah.
I was wondering, are they waiting? Because the next big innovation in video games is not 4K graphics, it's virtual reality. And I wondered, are they waiting for that flagship game-changing VR title to then continue any of these franchises. The fact they have 3, and they just announced a Half-Life one. Give me a Portal one.
Yep.
And Left 4 Dead, and Team Fortress.
Team Fortress doesn't seem as
torn between.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has to be one of those.
I could see Left 4 Dead.
The fact
much
they're doing
more so.
3 of them.
Yeah. And not 4.
Well, no, just they avoid the number 3 like the plague.
Oh.
And they're doing 3 VR titles.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting. I don't think it'll be Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3.
Right.
And
do you think they'll ever make those?
So now I'm wondering is after they do this,
does that open the door?
333. So it's very exciting. Thursday is a big day.
Will they ever start a new franchise?
At this point, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Maybe they could. They easily could. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
They don't do anything that makes any sense. So
I mean,
it's exciting. And
what have they done? Have they made anything in the last
no, they've been
10 years?
Let me just double check. Well, yeah. What is it? It's 2019, Portal 2.
I think that was like 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 9 years ago.
Okay.
So in the last 10 years, they've made Portal 2. Oh, Dota. Dota is their big thing right now.
Yes, which there are 2 of.
And there's 2 of those as well. And Counter-Strike. So Dota 2 was 2013.
There's a lot of Counter-Strikes, aren't there?
Portal 2 is 2011.
Okay.
I don't even want to get into the Counter-Strike thing.
I never want to get into the Counter-Strike thing.
I understand it more, and it doesn't scare me as much, but it's kind of convoluted.
Kogo. Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Global Offensive. There you go. But yeah, very exciting stuff from Valve.
No. I'm an idiot. Not Kogo. CSGO. Duh. I knew that didn't sound right.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Kogo sounds cool, though.
It does.
So yeah, we'll see what they do on Thursday. Thursday's a big day. I just want to shout out also, do you work Thursday?
No, but I'm going to a UCLA basketball game.
Damn.
Why?
Tesla Cybertruck unveiling.
Oh, that's okay.
It's a big deal.
I know.
Like, huge deal.
That's okay, though.
So I'm bummed because
you know why? Because we can always watch it. Still, we could still watch it.
Well, I will be watching it live.
Yeah. All right.
I can't miss this. I've been waiting for this for too long. But that's also Thursday.
Yeah.
And LA Auto Show debuts Friday.
I haven't been to that in a long time.
I've never been.
Really?
Yeah.
You should go.
Ooh, if it's gonna be there, I might go.
Yeah.
But that'd be a cool
draw.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
It's not that much money.
Really?
No. Journal admission tickets are $12 during online presale, $15 at the box office. Nailed it.
It says 15 on here and 20 crossed out.
It's not that bad.
I might do that. Anyways, so that's what's going on in all those worlds.
It's fun stuff.
It is. Because games are fun.
Games are fun. Movies are also fun.
Fun.
F is for fun. No, F is for friends.
No, F is for fun.
Who do
U
stuff
is for
together.
un, and N is for in.
And it's also for you and me talking about movies
And
after
games.
this break.
Oh, no games after the break.
No.
Sorry.
Hey, I'm Jordan,
And I'm Ethan.
and you're listening to the Hebrew Rebels podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the movie and TV segment. We're going to get into a link that Ethan included that he forgot about.
One thing.
Yeah.
You haven't commented on my shirt.
So I was trying to remember if I had seen you wear it before. I was going to, I swear. I just...
We're in the segment
Every
now.
time I was about to, we talk about something else and I forget. Did you get that?
I changed the topic.
From Box Lunch.
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. Okay. Same thing, essentially.
And I wore my other new Hot Topic shirt on Sunday when we went to Disney.
Nice. What was that?
Kingdom Hearts.
Nice. Oh, I remember you saying you wanted to wear that there.
And I'm really happy I wore it.
Yeah.
Because I got one of the workers was like, dude, that shirt is... Oh, I was like, yes, validated.
Did you just get that shirt or have you had it for a while?
Wore it for the first time.
Nice.
I've had it for a while.
Yeah.
Wore it for the first time.
That's cool.
This is like the second time I'm wearing it after last night.
It's a good shirt.
Yeah, it's great.
You wore it last night too?
Yep.
What was last night?
This is my chill shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear this out. Just on podcasts and around my house.
Same. I don't think I've worn this shirt yet either.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've been looking at it the entire time and
We both were looking at each other's shirts. We're
That's
just like,
so funny.
I don't know if I should say anything or not because like I don't want to look like an idiot for forgetting. Anyways, so in the link, what? Again?
I couldn't swallow. It didn't work. I did it a little backwards, I know.
Oh God.
You're not gonna cheers me.
What was that from? Oh God.
For later.
Let's just talk about the lighthouse right now.
Real quick.
We'll
We're
save
just
this for later.
We're just gonna jump in since I did that.
So we saw the lighthouse. We drove the farthest we've ever driven together to see a movie
that hurts.
because I kind of refuse to pay for a movie now.
Oh, yeah,
unless it's Star Wars or
Marvel.
an Avengers movie.
Yeah. Shang-Chi, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, also, it's not gonna be that big of a movie that
I'm
it's
very
that's
hyped
gonna
for Shang-Chi.
require.
That's why I brought that up.
For sure, I'm not. But the hype isn't gonna be like an Endgame level where you have to make sure you buy your tickets immediately to ensure that you're there like night one.
Yep.
That's why I do that for Star Wars and Marvel. So we drove to like the next city over because that was the only AMC near us that was playing this movie called The Lighthouse, starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, that I had been hearing about but didn't know much about. I'd been hearing about it. I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't seen a trailer or anything. You had.
I had seen a trailer, and somebody at work had told me one anecdotal line thing, not even like not a description.
Like if they had to summarize it into one
not a
phrase.
Except no. Like it was not a summary of the movie.
Because they hadn't seen it.
Well, it was just one thing, I guess, that stuck with their friend that saw
A takeaway.
A takeaway.
Yeah.
In terms of like what to say about this movie.
And it was.
And that was mermaid sex, which means the entire movie, I was just like, that's why I can't hear anything before.
I'm so happy you didn't tell me that before.
Oh yeah, intentionally didn't tell you that because I knew. And the second we sat down and the movie started and he pulled the mermaid thing out, I was like, yeah, I really, really wish that person hadn't told me that because like now I'm like, okay, so this is about mermaids and this is all about this and this is all about that. I was trying to tie everything to that.
It takes you out of what's actually happening.
And
because the movie's not about mermaid sex.
Not at all. Like there's one scene. That's it.
Where there is mermaid sex.
One scene. And I assumed everything that was happening
was leading
had
to that.
to do with that.
Yeah.
Was connected to that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So, we didn't do a reacts video about this.
I wish we had.
I don't. Because I think right now we can have a better discussion about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I think we were both kind of down on this movie. Coming out of it.
I was kind of disturbed by it.
I wasn't. I was 100% disturbed by this movie.
I was very excited to leave the theater.
Yep. Having said that,
yeah,
I can't stop thinking about this movie.
I can't either.
It keeps popping into my head,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, was that a good movie?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think because like I was so in it the whole time.
Just because
like,
you're not into the material necessarily doesn't mean the movie is bad.
And I'm just like, they nailed it 100% of that feel.
The feel
of that.
The look of it. I love that it was black and white.
Oh, yeah.
It couldn't have been anything else.
No, I want to watch more black and white movies.
Yeah.
Like,
because it was very unsettling.
Well, because the thing was in 1890, the world was black and white.
I remember when I realized that. I remember when I first realized that people that long ago saw in color. I'm like, wait,
the world
what?
The same.
It's not like the Wizard of Oz where you walk out the door and everything's in color all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was when it changed. that was when it changed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was very happy this was in black and white. The performances, I think, are what I'm taking away from this the most. They were outstanding. So believable. I think Robert Pattinson pulled off that look tremendously, and Willem Dafoe was a pirate sort of dude.
What degree of spoiler territory are we gonna do with this?
Let's keep it minimal. We already said mermaid sex, but I think everyone's I feel like everyone's kind of heard that by now.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about what happens or
Okay.
how everything culminates, but
I'm not gonna lie, this movie's hard to talk about, not as a whole.
I know.
Because I can give some anecdotal, like yeah, it was the setting was great. The sense of place and like being there with them is very heavy. You feel like you're stuck on this island.
I can count on one hand of the movies that I've watched that take place in less of an area than this
Yeah.
movie, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
Like you don't go very far in this movie, and that's really impressive.
Yep.
To build an entire movie on such a small set.
It was like you kept seeing the same place in different ways.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that. And the other thing that weirded me out, but also like they nailed, is like the sense of time and progression.
For
was
sure.
So like it didn't matter.
Right.
Yet like every once in a while you'd be like, oh, that's how much time, or like how much time has passed.
But also depending on the time of day, they
Yeah.
interact differently. Are they
That's-
friends? Do they hate each other? It's like I don't know, man. I think we might have said when we left, like, we never want to see this movie again. I might watch this movie again someday.
I don't know if I want to watch it again, although I definitely would. Like, I'm like, I'm with you on that. Where I'm like, oh, I want to see it again. I want to feel it again.
Right. Because it wasn't disturbing in the sense that, like, I don't ever want to experience that again.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't, like, offensive or anything. There were some graphic things.
To
but
be fair, the ending is still off-putting.
yeah.
But I wonder if we look at the movie as a whole, as it is because of the ending, and maybe we would have just forgotten about it if it had had a different ending.
Yeah.
And you can't, there's no way to know.
Right.
So all I can know is that this movie pops in my head once a day or once every 2 days. And I'm just like, that, just the act of it popping into my head makes me go, was this better than I thought?
Yeah, I think so.
So
What I really want to do is introduce this movie to some people who maybe haven't heard of it down the road and see how they react to it. I think this might be one of my go-to movies of, like, I really want to kind of throw you off and watch you react to this movie.
I may have screwed up, so I told somebody about it.
Yeah.
And after I was describing it and telling them about it, they're like, it doesn't sound that bad. This kind of sounds interesting. And I was like, yeah, I know. It kind of does sound interesting. I wish I didn't tell you all about it, but oh well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a hard line to walk, but
It didn't get good reviews.
really?
Yeah. Can I double check the IMDb?
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember I was telling you about that list that was saying, like, movies that are potential Oscar nominees? I think this was on there.
Really?
But that's this person's opinion. That doesn't mean it got good reviews necessarily.
No, I was going off what my grandma said. It has a 92% on Rotten
There
Tomatoes.
you go. I mean, this doesn't seem like a movie that would get bad reviews because critics are weird.
Yeah.
And they don't like mainstream stuff and they love weird.
Critics are about the process. Whether it's good or did you put process in?
Yeah.
And clearly, like, there was work put into this.
Yes.
And thought put into this. And I think that's what they notice.
Yes.
Rather than a hollow movie that looks nice.
Right.
And that was not this.
No, not hollow by any sense.
The people that made this movie thought 1,000 times more about it than we were able to watching it.
I don't even fully know what happened. I don't know if I understand the timeline, the characters. Like, I have questions about this movie still, and I think I always will. And
I think that's the point.
Yeah, and that's good. Like, that there's a lot to this movie.
We saw another movie.
So if you can handle it, I recommend it, I think.
Yes. And before we talk about that other movie.
Yes. So what is this? In the doc, you called it Survivor ?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is?
No,
So do you see, who is that?
that is Boba Fett.
Have you followed, so this has to do with The Mandalorian and episode 1. Have you looked up Easter eggs or watched or read anything?
I've seen videos pop up on YouTube that are like, here's 30 Easter eggs from episode 1. I'm like,
Oh, but you haven't watched
No.
it? So when he walks into the Mandalorian base,
yeah.
there's a character standing, oh, that's not what this is. In The Mandalorian, there's a character standing right near the doorway, that looks like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And he even has the dent in his helmet. Oh. And it's red.
Oh, dude.
However, the rest of his outfit I don't think looks like him. My gut now, based on all the research I've done and reading I've done, it's not Boba Fett.
Okay.
My gut instinct is that was not Boba Fett. But it might be Jodo Cast, which is a expanded universe character.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who he is either. Like, this was through reading stuff that I found out about this guy. However, it led me down this Boba Fett rabbit hole of like, could he be alive? Could he show up? What's going on here? What are we going to see? So there is some canon stuff from the Aftermath novel, which came out around, I think, after Force Awakens.
Yep. Yeah, they came out with a bunch of books around that time.
Yep, to build up that canon that they had wiped clean, to kind of fill in what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's a sequence where somebody has Boba Fett's armor. Somebody has his armor.
Yeah.
Which means it is officially canon, made it out.
At least the armor did.
The armor did.
Yeah.
Also, Boba Fett is currently neither alive nor dead, which has been stated by official like people within Star Wars, leaving the door open for a story. Honestly, this dude needs to have survived that. Period.
We've seen that they want to give more to characters that didn't get a fair ending, like Darth Maul. Everyone loves Boba Fett. And maybe they didn't back then. They definitely do now. And he kind of went out in a stupid way. So
the reason was because he wasn't a popular character at the time.
Right.
And he became popular later.
Yeah.
And so
like a cult classic kind of thing.
Lucas's actual words has implied that he's still alive. Or that he's survived. And originally they had an anthology spinoff movie planned for Boba Fett.
Right.
And they scrapped it post Solo.
Was that going to be post Sarlacc pit or
nobody knows?
Not necessarily.
Nobody knows.
Right.
But you make a show called The Mandalorian. He has to show up at some point.
I think so.
He has to show up at some point.
I want to see the actor
Tamara
that played
Morrison.
him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. I have
I don't want to see just a helmeted dude,
this.
especially if he lost his armor. So I want to see that guy again.
There's some complications here. So he has stated in past years that he would love to rejoin Star Wars and resume. The most realistic character for him to reprise would be Rex.
Okay.
Based on age.
Sure.
So Boba would be I don't
know. Boba would be old, no?
40. No. So.
Oh.
I'm gonna. I did this. I don't have it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
Sorry. So he was 36 in Return of the Jedi. This is 5 years after, so he'd be 41. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's like Tamara Morrison.
Sure.
Who played Jango Fett. So he's 50.
So episode 2 was.
Sorry. So he's currently
like 15 years ago.
He's currently 58.
Yeah. I think with some makeup, that's not that big of a discrepancy. I think with some makeup, you could pull it off.
With makeup and all this de-aging.
I don't know if I want that.
They could,
because that could be distracting.
But if it's just slight, because it's the same, it's literally the same person.
Yeah.
So it's just a wrinkle here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of times with that, you just gotta suspend your belief, like disbelief. Yeah, that's what it is, right?
Disbelief.
I don't really care if he looks a little bit older. Like, I'm not going to get hung up on that.
He looks like Rex.
Because he's probably been through a lot of
and
too.
So that was the other... I'm happy you said that, because that was what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, they might be able to spin it. Like, the dude went in a Sarlacc pit and survived. It messed him up a little.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because maybe he's not going to be smooth face. You don't need to get rid of wrinkles. Maybe he has scars all over him or something.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful that there's, at this point, with Obi-Wan coming back and everything, I'm like, they got to do something.
Yeah.
And that seems like, I don't know why, I don't think that's Boba Fett, because why would he just be standing in this place on a random planet?
For sure.
And also the confirmed armor being on Tatooine. So did he get out and ditch his armor? Like, what's going on there?
Right. And you saw the Mandalorian's helmet and gun on the wall in
Star Wars Land.
what was his name again? Dagombar's antique store.
As I was standing there waiting for my lightsaber, I'm looking through and I'm like, that is the Mandalorian's helmet and that is his staff.
Yep.
And did we talk about how his gun is from the holiday special?
I don't know if I heard that from you, but I have heard that, and that is so weird.
They used that the weapon in the holiday because it was an animated Boba Fett.
Yeah.
In the holiday special.
Oh my god. We have to watch that this year because this is episode 9 and the end, and I'm gonna be watching 2 other movies. I'm just gonna throw that in.
Well, just because it's the holidays.
Why not?
That's perfect to watch. Look at this.
It still blows my mind that that's a thing. That's the holiday special?
This was an animated short during the holiday special. They had. It was
what
like
does that mean?
You haven't seen it,
Right.
It's just there's just a whole bunch of segments.
Oh.
Everything's
The entire
random.
thing isn't this like weird live action
Most
movie?
of it is.
Okay.
And they're celebrating Life Day.
Right. Which is the Wookiee.
No,
No?
it's a Star Wars thing.
Okay.
So the entire universe celebrates Life Day.
Interesting.
It's never been canon
Right.
until episode 1 of The Mandalorian. The blue guy said, "Oh, I need to do something for Life Day."
Oh my god.
He referenced Life Day. So,
Wow.
2 holiday specials. So Jon Favreau
That's pretty
is
great.
a vocal fan of the holiday special.
Yeah. Because
And
he's
he
a
is-
Star Wars nerd.
And he has said he wants to remake it. He wants to do a new holiday special.
That would be incredible.
I hope they give it to him.
That would be incredible.
So we'll
Because
see.
the holiday special is canon or no?
No. Chewie has a family.
But it
is
features-
weird.
The actors.
Star Wars comes out. The holiday special comes out before rules had been established. I watched
Right.
a documentary on why it happened and
Right.
why it's hidden now. So nobody knew what was going on. It's one of the weirdest pieces of Star Wars
still
anything.
don't get it.
And post holiday special,
Yeah.
they showed clips of like interviews, multiple interviews that all the actors had been on. The holiday special comes out, they'll be like, "What happened? That didn't happen." Mm-hmm. They literally deny its existence.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I think that was a concerted Lucas. Lucas was pissed because Star Wars was his and the holiday special was other people making Star Wars stuff. And
Like
he's
a-
like, no. None of that is legit.
Yeah.
None of that is Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that.
But I do like that you can take pieces of it and be like, I mean, I like that concept.
take it and make it Star Wars.
Yes.
Like the gun.
Yeah.
The gun is amazing, but
It's
we
so
don't
cool.
need all of that stuff to be.
Do you remember Weird Al's song White and Nerdy?
Yes.
The parody of Ride and Dirty. There's in the music video.
Yeah.
It might even be a line in the song. He's in an alley doing, it looks like a drug deal. And he gets this like paper bag and he pulls it out and it's a VHS copy of the holiday special.
Oh my God.
And he's all like giddy. He's like, yay. Implying that it's like hard to find. I started watching it
buried
at
it.
one point.
It's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube now.
But I don't know why I didn't finish it, but this
Because
year.
it's bad.
This
'Cause
year.
it's really bad.
Oh yeah, it was horrendous.
I don't think I've watched it from start to finish.
we have to do it this
So
year.
we'll do
I'm
that this
excited. What's this other thing called With Great Power?
I watched that today.
Because all I'm thinking of is another Weird Al song about Spider-Man, where he
So
says, "With
what's-
great power comes great responsibility." Anyways, yeah,
So that is the quote.
Mm-hmm.
It's with great power, a Stanley story.
cool.
It's free on YouTube, and it's great. It connected all the bits and pieces I have floating around in my head about Stan Lee
That's
and
the way I feel
Marvel
too.
and Jack Kirby and all of that, and it consolidated that timeline. And Stan Lee is now officially one of my favorite people. He already was one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
I have even more appreciation, even more. He was a special human being.
Yeah,
Period.
they always do the in memoriam at the Oscars. I feel like he should get like a standing ovation this year.
Oh, he'll get. So you know how everybody, some people get their picture.
Some
in
get a
one
clip.
movie.
Right.
Some people get their picture. Yeah, I guess some people just get their picture. Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
usually they have
no.
one picture of something they've done. I feel like
True.
even
A
if it's a still
yeah,
image, and then
I know
other
what you
people
mean.
get a dedicated audio
little montage
clip.
kind of thing. Yeah.
He should get like 5 minutes, and that's 10 seconds to 5 minutes.
Hey, your Oscars is long enough as it is. You can afford 5 minutes.
He needs an entire segment.
Especially since one of
wasn't
those
that
movies
this year?
should be what?
Wouldn't they have done that at
When
the
did he
Oscars
die?
this year? Because it was fall last year.
Oh, was it really?
It was like,
Oh, I thought it was this year. Yeah,
'Cause-
it would have passed then.
because Captain Marvel was
Yeah, you're right.
November
2018.
a year ago.
Wow. Yeah, it would have been last year.
And
I don't
like,
think there was much.
I'm sad he's gone, but I'm also not like sad.
He lived a full life.
95.
Yeah.
And his wife, 95. And what this movie showed was about them too.
Yeah.
Man, he loved her.
Yeah.
They loved each other so much. And I have such a greater appreciation for Marvel now. Where it's at now is where it's destiny. This was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Thanks to him.
Yeah.
But you hear people talk about it before and they got it. People just didn't get it yet. And it's like, there's a reason all these stories hold up now.
Yeah.
Because the genius underneath there, it's real. It's something and all I was thinking was all the Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola comments and how wrong they are.
Even Willem Dafoe. I was watching something today, like someone and Willem, the creator of Watchmen and Willem Dafoe were both saying, like, I think there's something wrong with people today that they're gravitating so much towards these kind of movies. And it's like,
it's really a shame because the same thing kind of happened around the comics until everybody was like, wait, we can all relate to this.
yeah.
This is all real. And that's why it was so good.
And that's the thing I was hearing. It's like, this is...
And that's why I brought Spider-Man.
Yes. That's perfect. These movies have been a way for us to talk about real world issues in a way that everyone wants to go and soak it in and learn about it. Because these smaller production, more serious, like straight to the point movies, not everyone's going to see, but everyone's going to see these Marvel movies that do have an underlying problem to them that will cause everyone to talk about it. And that's why they're so cool too. They're a vessel for us to like actually communicate about things that we're struggling with.
And that's how Stan Lee created all of it.
Yeah.
And you have to watch this. I'll send you a link.
I will for sure.
It's
That
free.
sounds
It's
really good.
free on YouTube.
Because I felt the same way. Like I have a bunch of pieces in my head about him, but I don't have like the full picture. And I really want that.
So once all the movies took off, and I'm talking Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
X-Men,
Yeah.
and then beyond, everybody thought it was an overnight success. And he had been working on it for 50 years. And it's such a shame, like the amount of work he put in to get it to that point. Like it just all makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely watch this like when you get a chance.
I will.
It's so good.
How long is it?
Hour 20.
Cool.
Yeah. It's
Who made it?
I don't know.
Like, is it a Marvel
it's
thing?
An amalgamation. It came out in 2010.
Okay.
It's an amalgamation of different interviews, but it tells a cohesive story.
Yeah.
It gets into the whole Jack Kirby thing and when he came in and that's what I was going to say. The Hulk was created because of the nuclear crisis.
Right.
And people didn't know what was going on. He's like, I should make somebody dealing with this because it's present.
They're all like a commentary on current issues that were happening at the time.
Absolutely. And it's amazing how it's come full cycle and they've been able to morph and modernize it with the movies.
Yeah.
And make it relevant.
Right.
And that's why I'm thinking Stan Lee was literally like, we didn't like black people needed representation, so I made Black Panther.
And that would have been a very advanced standpoint for that time, I feel like, right?
There were definitely two sides at the time.
Right.
Stan Lee was on what I would agree is
The right side.
the minority side though at the time. Like
Right.
now it feels more like everybody's like a little bit clearer on what's the right thing.
For sure.
Back then it was a little more edgy and like, ooh, you really think that? And he was a pioneer. He made Shang-Chi. You know, I referenced that earlier.
Yeah.
And Black Panther. And Spider-Man, he said Peter Parker was a lot of his own experiences.
That's so fun.
It's amazing.
But like, I am excited for Shang-Chi because I didn't know about
I'm-
him before this. Like, I hadn't heard of him. Like, I hadn't really heard of Black Panther before he was introduced into the Marvel movies. Like, I'm enjoying getting to see this stuff through the movies because I'm never going to read the comics.
No, it's just not our era.
Yeah.
And that was what like showed this to me was like, it started with the comics, and then he literally said he went on a business trip to California, and was like, why these people don't understand how good they have it out here. I need to find a way to move out here. And he went back, and I won't tell you the whole story about that, but he was literally like, I want to move out there and make, and so then they made TV shows, like animated TV shows, and so like that exposed a whole bunch more people to it, and
Which were great, right? Like, I mean, for the most part, they were loved by many, like the X-Men show, which is now on Disney Plus. Like, everyone, I feel like, loves that.
I don't know what year that was, because stuff happened.
That does seem more recent.
Progressive, yeah. But that's still part of it, right? Like, people were exposed to that, and I thought back on my own experiences, and I was like, yeah, I think the first time I really got into Spider-Man was the movie with Tobey Maguire, which is ridiculous.
I mean,
but I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever it was.
I remember, I don't know what came first, that movie, or I remember when we used to go to California Speedway.
Oh, okay.
I think there was one race a year at the time, and we used to rent an RV and go and camp in the infield for the weekend. It was so fun. Like, we loved it. Like, it was just being surrounded by the track for an entire weekend.
Fontana?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I remember my parents took me to a bookstore to get something to like entertain me throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
And I got a like thick Spider-Man comic collection of books. There was 9 different comics in it. I have them somewhere.
Yeah, you got to find that.
I don't know where they are, but and I think they were like some of the original ones. And I didn't really know what they were, but I remember reading them through many times.
Yeah.
As a kid.
This definitely made me sad that nobody in my life introduced me to comics.
Yeah.
Because I would have latched onto that, I think. But I found video games.
I'm also glad though, because
Spider-Man video game for N64. That might be one of the first times I was exposed to Spider-Man.
N64. Wow.
Yeah. I still have that game. I think I showed it to you. Or I told you about it when the new like Spider-Man game came out. And
yes.
I was like, look.
Here's how it used to be. Yeah. You like to give me that perspective.
It's amazing. It's important, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. My favorite part of the movie was a 46-year-old guy. He's like, I'm 46, and honestly, if you told me I could be Spider-Man tomorrow and I could swing through the streets and then just drop in here, yeah, who doesn't want to do that?
I know.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the beauty of Spider-man.
Right.
And anybody who says they're too old for that,
those are the kind of people
I'm sorry.
that these people like Coppola and Scorsese and those are the kind of people that they're saying have problems.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're objectively wrong, and it's sad because it makes them not look good. Really, really, truly.
Yeah.
And this is a pivotal moment in the industry.
Like, listen, Scorsese, your movie comes out to Netflix in a couple weeks. It better be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life if you're going to take this standpoint.
They're viewing it from a different angle. It's like a principle thing. It's like if you make a movie that a lot of people like, it's bad. Like, I really think it's that pathetic, and I'm using the word pathetic of a level.
But he's made many movies that a lot of people like.
But they would look at that as like an afterthought, or not designed for a lot of people to like, or something along.
This is my masterpiece, and you all happen to fall in love with it.
Exactly. Like,
it's not a production like cranked out like you're all gonna love this kind of.
And
piece.
I think that's how they're viewing it. I'm not them. That's my guess. That's my
I
opinion.
get the two sides of that coin, but
they're wrong.
Yeah.
In every way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
I will never defend that argument because there's room for everything.
Yep.
Period.
Hey, I love The Wolf of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. 3-hour movie. Also love Endgame. 3-hour movie. Like, both are masterpieces in my mind.
Absolutely.
And
I don't know why
you should just be happy with that. Like,
why does it have to be one or
why
the
do you
other?
have to on it? Yeah.
Why does it have to be one? It makes you look bad, and that's what I'm saying. It's only making them look bad.
Why would you say this when you have a movie coming out soon? Why would you give yourself any kind of negative connotation? I don't get it. Work with people. Praise each other. Like, lift each other up. The Russos are working directors. Why would you try to put them down?
I just
uplift them.
I just don't see it's got to be an insecurity thing, and they feel threatened because Spielberg did the same thing with the Netflix thing, which I thought was bizarre. And
Right.
It's like, yo, are you guys about the art, or are you so on top that you're afraid about not being on top anymore?
I'm not convinced that he will never have a streaming movie either. Considering Scorsese does, like, we'll see a Spielberg like Netflix movie or something like that. I feel like for sure.
Because it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Are you gonna just be like, well, I'm done with this industry now?
I mean, you're proud of your movie, right? You want everyone to see it. Put it on Netflix.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, that's insulting.
That's the first time I've ever done that, by the way.
Okay, so we saw another movie together. I saw one other movie this week. It's called Black and Blue, starring Naomi Harris. Are you familiar with her? She played Tia Dalma in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The like kind of
The Cajun witch.
the Cajun Witch. Exactly what I was about to say.
Okay.
Yes. I've seen her in other things more recently.
Creole witch. Which
Yeah.
one is more accurate?
She was in Skyfall. She plays.
That's one of my favorite movies. Why do I not recognize her from that?
She's the the lady in his ear all the time. Moneypenny. She's Moneypenny.
No, she's
Yes.
no Moneypenny's the guy with glasses.
That is Q.
No. Oh, did I mix them up? I was gonna say
Yeah.
she was cute. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
She's Moneypenny.
I can't believe I never realized that until right now.
Okay, so you can picture her, right?
Yep.
All right. So this movie is about she is a cop in New Orleans.
Okay.
Current day.
No, I'm wondering if I've seen the trailer for this. That's why I don't.
You
think
may
I
have.
But keep going.
She works with a bunch of white people. And she's new to the force, and she gets partnered up with this guy on like a night shift or something, and they end up getting a call. They go to this like abandoned warehouse on the river, and the guy goes inside, tells her to stay there. She hears gunshots. She goes inside and sees that her partner is standing there while one of the other detectives that we saw earlier, a narc as she calls them repeatedly, shoots some kid like just in the face, point blank.
He was innocent.
Yep.
Okay.
No defense or anything.
Yep.
Didn't draw a weapon on him, just shoots him. And the whole movie is based around this body cam that she has.
Oh, that's what this is.
So she
Okay.
captures it, and they see her, and they shoot her, but they shoot her in the bulletproof vest. She falls to the floor, and she escapes. So the whole movie is about them trying to get her, and her trying to like upload this video that she has captured of the police being dirty. And
That's so interesting.
it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's kind of riveting. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. There's like a really cool set at the end that's like this really rundown like projects kind of building
Okay.
that all these people are living in, but it's kind of a maze. So it's all like,
Oh, it gives me anxiety. That's the exact situation I don't want to be
but
in.
it all takes place in there at the end
Oh,
and like
wow.
chasing each other through it. And there's like hidden doors and tunnels and stuff. It's pretty fun. The trailer seemed intriguing, so I figured with A-list, why not? Like that was the perfect A-list movie for me.
Exactly.
I would give it a 7.
That's. What would you give The Lighthouse now?
Okay, so I have a rating system. 5 stars is like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
But 7 out of 10.
No, hold on. Five stars is like one of the best movies I've ever seen, right?
Okay.
4 is on like the short list for my favorite of the year.
Okay.
3 is good,
Yep.
worth seeing probably.
Okay.
2 is don't see this unless you enjoy seeing bad movies, unless that's like enjoyable to you.
That's
like,
a jump from 2 to 3. I feel like.
no.
Where do you put Gemini Man? Because right, based on your system,
It's a 2.
2.5.
So okay, and then
Yeah.
1 is like, do not watch
Avoid,
this movie,
like the
Yeah.
plague.
So then within that, I have like is it on the higher or lower end of that? So I would call this a 3-star movie,
Yep.
and on the higher end of that.
Yeah,
So
that-
so therefore 7.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. It's nothing great. Like it's not Oscar worthy or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I had no problems with it. And it was fun.
There you go. Can I real quick? So
Yeah.
Gemini Man 2 plus 5 out of 10.
Okay, so
Does that make sense?
So it's a 2.
On the higher end, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like that's where I put it too. Like after I was like, this is a 5 out of 10.
Because when I'm just thinking 0 to 10, I always find it hard to give something like less than a 5 unless you associate like a class to it.
Yeah.
Because saying like how do you think when you see a really bad movie, how do you say like that's 0 to 5? That seems hard to differentiate because through school you always think you get an A, B, C, D, and anything lower is an F.
Well,
so it's
and
hard to
that's
judge that range.
The school rating system should be completely separate from all this stuff. I think this happens with video game reviews.
No, and that's why I'm doing
gets
this.
a 7 out of 10, and
Yeah.
people are like, shit game. And it's like, no.
No.
But it would be like, if you get any grade under a C or something, it's shit. It's just, it's not good.
Right.
And it's like, that's not
But that's not the case.
how this should be.
Because by my thing, like if I give it a 6, I still think it's good.
Yeah.
It's not worth running out to see necessarily, but like you made a decent movie.
And I think rating movies lower is important to rate movies that deserve it higher.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people miss out on that. And they get everything a 10.
And I'm trying to stick by that because I feel like it's easy to just sit in that 7 to 10 range.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to rate things lower.
I hate rating things. I really, because it's
I just do it for myself.
Difficult. No. I get you.
Oh,
Like,
I see
even
what
for
you mean.
myself,
Yeah.
like I still remember iTunes and it was like rate the song, and I was just like, this is too much. I can't give all of my music stars. Like
Right.
it's so subjective.
I
and
remember that.
different, and it's too much.
You could, and it was on a 10-point basis.
Was it out of 10?
Because I'm pretty sure it was stars, but you could do half stars. Maybe even more than that.
No, I don't.
It was definitely at least half stars.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh God. Well, we saw one other movie.
we did. Jojo Rabbit. We'll get to what my star rating would be at the end because I have to think about it while we talk about it.
You haven't given it one?
I haven't. I don't know yet.
So this was a movie that I remember seeing previewed. I don't remember how I found out about this movie, but
I first saw a trailer for it. I think I'd heard the name.
yeah.
I saw the trailer in theaters and I'm like, that is 100% my kind of movie.
Yeah.
Everything about it looked perfect. I don't know if I sent it to you. I sent it to my dad for sure. But I know I mentioned it to you at one point.
I'm pretty locked into Taika Waititi news.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I'm somehow tracking him and staying pretty plugged into whatever he's doing.
I think that makes sense.
And so I don't remember exactly how I found out about this, but if I see him, I watch it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I see your name, I watch it.
Because he doesn't make a ton.
No. And the fact that he was playing Hitler as who he is, I was like, okay, I don't even really know what this is about, but I trust that he has figured something out and done something. And hearing him, he talked, I listened to an interview about him trying to pitch this movie, and people were like really concerned about him pitching it. And apparently there wasn't a lot of issue around him pitching it. It was always like, you need to do this character. Like people trust him now. It's real weird.
Yeah.
And I think he is even like, why do people trust me? Like, why do I have any credibility? Which he's very humble. I love that about him.
Yes.
And so we went and we saw this movie.
So we wanted to see it with Maya
Yes.
because indirectly, my first introduction to him was because of her, because she recommended What We Do in the Shadows to you, and then you showed it to me. That was the first time I had ever even heard his name. And now he's since exploded.
It's crazy. And it makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
100% deserve it so.
But we wanted to see it with her, so we finally got around to it. And what'd you think? We didn't do a reacts video for this either, unfortunately.
She loved it.
She really did.
She
and
loved
she
it.
knew nothing going in, right?
Nothing going in. I want to watch it again. I was a little tired,
Yeah.
but it seems like I got all the good parts. I had no expectations with this movie. I was definitely, to be fair, I was uncomfortable. I was weary.
I didn't know if I was supposed to be laughing at certain things.
Oh, you can definitely laugh at whatever you want
For sure. But-
because he made this movie.
right.
I wasn't concerned about laughing.
And that's all-
I was concerned about like if I wanted to, I don't know. Yeah,
That's what I mean. I'm like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
because
I made myself laugh.
yes,
I was never like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable because this is I shouldn't be laughing about this. My thing was I was trying to figure out what the angle was. And I had forgotten that there was an angle, and it had all to do about this boy having the girl in the attic. And I went into this just thinking it was going to be a funny make fun of Nazis movie,
right.
which I think was a mistake. I wish I'd like watched another trailer before or something, but the actors are what made this movie.
So
The
just
performances.
going off of that, like all of the parts where they were kind of seemingly making fun of Nazis,
Yeah.
those were genuinely funny.
Yeah.
We were hinting at earlier, all the Heil Hitlers.
Yeah.
And Sam Rockwell's character, just
Best.
so over it.
The best.
He's so lazy and just like, I don't care. He's just like, Heil Hitler.
So good.
That was hilarious. It was the parts where the kid is like questioning the girl about Jews.
Yeah.
And don't they have this and all of these absurd things? They have horns. They sleep upside down because they're like bats and they're vampires and they're monsters. It's like those were odd because like they kind of felt like they were funny, but it's like you're just so wrong though too. Like
I'd see. Yeah, that never bothered me because that was leaning into the absurdity
for sure.
of Hitler's
Yeah.
entire premise.
And that's why I enjoyed laughing at the Nazis. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy laughing at the bad connotation towards Jews.
oh, okay.
Even though I did, like it felt that part felt wrong to me.
I felt, and I'll just be honest. I felt totally okay laughing
Yeah,
at that because
yeah.
you're laughing at how
absurd it is for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that I mean, that didn't bother me. I don't know how to talk about this movie.
There's certain things we can't talk about. Only a couple.
His friend. So the main character is this little boy who is upset. No, you know what? No. Okay, I got my angle. So the main character is this little boy who is like, the Nazis are his favorite sports team.
Yes.
And whatever
100%.
they do, he loves it. He wants to emulate it.
I was about to say if they had posters, he would have had them up in his room. He did.
he did.
He
Yeah.
had Hitler posters in his room.
And Taika Waititi's role as Hitler and all that exposition and playing on all of this, he nailed it. I'm at a loss for the exact right words to use here, but
So it's interesting because when I first saw
like
the trailer,
counterplay, like I don't even know how to describe it.
it didn't accurately show that he's an imaginary friend. They never alluded to that at all. So what I took away from the trailer the first time was that he was his son, which was some weird alternate history thing. Hitler has this normal family and his wife happens to have like this Jewish girl hidden up in the ceiling. And
I just realized why I was struggling to talk about this.
when I first found out that he was his imaginary friend, I'm like, that makes more sense. And then that character is so much better because he can be
As
wacky
insane.
and whatever this kid thinks he is.
Yep.
Because Hitler's not going to be funny
No.
or enjoyable to see on screen.
Yep.
But Taika Waititi playing an imaginary Hitler
Yep.
who can be whatever he wants him to be
Yep.
is perfect.
Yep. And I'm really happy you said all that because that was my disconnect. That's why I couldn't find the words because the way you described it was exactly what I thought this movie was going to be.
Right.
However, I had heard he was going to be his imaginary friend before seeing it. So then I knew that was the angle. But I was like, I felt like I had built it up as another movie.
Yes.
And that's why I think I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Fully knowing what it is because it really did work that way.
While this movie didn't quite live up to what I hoped it would be, like I wanted this movie to be a 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily. But this movie
I don't think
wins the award for this year without a doubt for most characters that I like have fallen in love with.
Yeah. I'm really happy this movie exists.
Yes. Scarlett Johansson as his mom,
Incredible.
I loved.
Yep.
She was so goofy and weird, but sweet and caring, and balancing this. I have a Hitler-loving Nazi trying to be son, while I'm completely on the other side. I'm against everything that stands for because I have a Jewish girl hiding in the attic. But she was great. I think she played off that
She was
that
incredible.
balance perfectly.
This movie was brilliant because with one of these, you think the only way you'd be able to do it is to go full comedy and just like keep it real light. But they did hit on real
Yes.
topics and real issues and real things that happened, and the way that they handled it was masterful.
Yeah.
That never felt too much or inappropriate or not like paying enough respect. Like they nailed all of that and really showed how absurd it all was.
Yeah.
And one of the ways they did that was with the main character's little friend. And he would just kind of pop up in and out of the movie.
Was his name like Georgie or something?
Yeah,
Or, I don't even
that
know.
Georgie sounds
Sure.
exact. And this cute little kid that actually did make it in the military.
With these amazing like Harry Potter glasses. He's a little chubby kid.
And almost humanizing the Nazis
Well, yeah, because obviously you don't want anything bad to happen to this kid.
through a kid, which I thought was interesting.
Yorkie is his name, just to be accurate. but
Although I don't know if that's what they were doing.
I don't know.
I think they were humanizing them because they were not defending the Nazis in anything they did.
I wonder though, like you have to imagine
Yeah.
that not every single person that was in Germany or supporting Germany at that time was as purely evil as Hitler.
So, and that's why I'm like trying to be really careful because it's really complicated there.
Yes.
Because
and the main kid is kind of a testament to that because
Yeah.
he's not bad to the core. He's following what his country is. It's propaganda. Like it's what they're
Well,
teaching them.
one, he's a kid.
Yes.
You can't blame kids. Kids
No, for
don't
sure.
know anything.
Yeah.
And from what I know of real history, the sentiment in Germany was not that people were outright like, yay, we support this.
Right.
And we want to kill all these people. What it was I'm a farmer. Germany has been in a depression, essentially. We're nothing. We have no money. We have no job, like nothing. Oh, I'm doing a little bit better right now. And maybe I just don't want to think about what's happening. It's kind of that kind of thing. You're not blatantly supporting it, but you're like, I'm personally doing better and I'm just going to leave everybody alone and just stay in my lane and this is going to work.
Yeah.
And then you did have the crazy people that were just like for it.
Fanatics.
And
yeah.
so, and then there's also like, if you aren't like that, then you're targeted and
Right.
you have to survive. And it's very complicated and nothing that we can begin to get into here. And having said all that, I think the movie did a really good job of
covering all of that.
moving through that and still making a movie with a story
Is entertaining.
that's entertaining and wraps up.
Because
from
that kind of
beginning
movie
to
should not be
finish.
entertaining. It should be
No.
important, but a struggle to get through. Like I haven't seen Schindler's List.
Oh, I
I
haven't
don't
either.
imagine it's entertaining.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So maybe an opportunity to watch
That's
that.
one that comes into theaters every once in a while. I'm like, I feel like I
Is
should
it?
see that in a theater. But it's also like really long.
How long is it?
It's over 3 hours, I think.
That's what she said.
Not really.
Well, she's very tiny.
Okay. It is 3:15.
Oh,
Not that ridiculous, but it's long.
that would be the longest movie I've ever seen. I want this. Try to find a longer movie I've seen.
Wow, Wolf of Wall Street is exactly 3 hours also. That's crazy. I knew it was long, but I thought it was a little bit longer.
It's 3 hours?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it.
Right?
Wait,
no,
how
I
long is
can't.
Endgame?
3. It's technically 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Why
now,
do
but
3-hour movies not bother me?
Because they're good.
I still remember the first two. I think I've probably said this on here. I'll never forget the first 2-hour movie I saw.
What?
The Rookie.
Oh, right. That's a weird one.
Because it was a kid. It was for kids, right?
That's a long... I don't know.
It is.
It doesn't seem like
Disney.
a kid's movie.
I think it's Disney.
I know, but...
It's Dennis Quaid.
No, it is Disney, 100%. But it doesn't... That doesn't seem like a kid's movie. Because it's
Dennis
about,
Quaid, man,
it's
he
about
was in
an
The Parent
adult.
Trap.
For sure.
So therefore, it's a kid's movie. This is gonna be really random, but we're talking about long movies.
Yeah.
And I happened to watch a video today.
Yeah.
About the shift from length of movies.
Yeah.
So up until the point, there had been a company, and I forget the name of the company, DW something, and they were making movies like 98% of their movies were 15 minutes long. That's what movies were.
Yeah.
That's what everybody, if you talked to a human person and you talked movies, they'd be like, oh yeah, they're about like 15 minutes long. They're a little short thing. They cover this, and this. They had a couple that were like their longest one was 35 minutes. And then all of a sudden it changed thanks to one movie. And I can't remember what it's called. Quo Vas or something like that.
Okay.
Italian movie.
Okay.
And it was 100 maybe it was 3 hours or something.
Oh God.
So the reason that movies were all 15 minutes long had to do with film.
Yeah.
And basically a reel was 1,000 feet, and 1,000 feet gave you about 15 minutes.
Right.
And so that was what it was. And then
And that's still the case.
if they use film. Like
Right.
that,
But they
right?
just splice them together.
Okay. So then that must have been the pioneering of that or whatever. And then somewhere in Italy, they started making these longer movies, and it was cool. They showed this chart of the most like popular movies of each year and the length. And they're like, in 2018, it was 121 minutes. Like, so from the first time that they made a long movie compared to the short movie,
Yeah.
until like they figured it out right away.
Yeah.
The like ideal length of a movie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because
Things
yeah,
don't happen by accident.
2 hours is how long a movie is.
Yeah.
I think just generally everyone understands that.
If you hear movie, 2 hours, sometimes 2.5.
It's a little bit under. You're like, cool.
Kids movie.
Like Jojo Rabbit, you told me it's like 140 something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily ready to sit in this movie for 2.5 hours like I'm
Seems-
used to doing lately.
Seems good.
But
What's Star Wars?
230 something, 236,
Perfect. Oh, I'm so hyped. What was Last Jedi?
232. But
better.
I remember we
It'd be
said
better.
there was so much garbage in The Last Jedi
Yeah.
that if you take that out, it's quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I give this movie?
I feel much better about it having talking through it, and I really want to watch it again now.
Based off of my list, I think I would give it an 8.
Yeah, that's literally where I was gonna land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
think it needs to go above that at all.
It could make my
And-
list of like top 10 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the performances so much that it's like on the higher end of that. So yeah, an 8, Jojo Rabbit. Go see it. Support Taika and everyone in it.
Support Taika no matter what he makes.
Yes. Thank you for watching and or listening to this here podcast. If you have been watching, you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast streaming services. If you have been listening, you can watch us on YouTube, and you can subscribe on Patreon at the $1 tier, which is all there is for right now, to get the bonus content podcast with extra footage and bloopers and box openings and all that kind of stuff. We're going to open a Pokemon box real quick after this ends. If you want to see us do that, we would appreciate your support. But I've got nothing else. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Huber Rebels.
Till next time.
Welcome to the rebellion.